to do the work to be our best selves. And, I remember the words of Kwame Nkrumah, and he said, the hand that rocks the cradle builds the nation, rules the nation. And so, as long as the women are safe and can have good food and air and water and, can move about with some sense of peace of mind, then they can actually channel what the divine guidance wants for us to do on high. Because women are open from both ends, our crown chakra and our womb. So we receive the heavenly input as men can, and then we also receive the earthly input, as only we can do because of the open womb. And so with that, it allows us to be a little more balanced, unless a man has really taken the time to cultivate his feminine energy, which shows up in the form of intuition, compassion, creativity. Because again, as I said on the mountaintop, we're just dealing with language, right? And language requires us to have labels so that we all can describe the experience or the feeling that we are sharing collectively. So we decide to agree on words, and those words become the way in which we share our experience. So we have come up with a way to describe the polarities by calling them masculine and feminine. And we have both. And so, what were you going to say?
Go ahead, sis. I need to ask you a question, but go ahead.
Sure. And just to say that, and really I know I'm not saying anything that y'all don't already know. I just am here to help folks remember what we really already know. And so with that, we get the opportunity to tap in and to really strive to be our best self. So women then, through our breast, as projectiles of nurturing, can affect the whole environment. Heart chakra being open, that love energy coming through the breast, whether a woman is big and busty or she just has a very, small chest, the heart chakra energy still comes through the projection of the breast. And it can affect the whole environment. That's why hugs are so good with women, provided that men are honoring the sanctity of being brought into the bosom of the mother, brought into that sacred heart space, and then we can meet heart to heart, and then begin to, through the interplay of polarities, shift the energy together. But women, we could do it on our own. The thing about it is, where you all come in is that you have to provide a safe environment for us. You provide that safe environment, then our heart chakra can just stay wide open, and we can transform anything and everything. And it's so ultimately it is a collective effort. But where we are doing each other's job or doing our job and we're supporting each other, that just varies depending on how we choose to do it. So being able to come to the top of the mountain and for all of us to be together was, like you said, it was biblical. And the fact that we all agreed to do it before we even incarnated as planetary placeholders.
That's key.
We knew the assignment.
That's key.
Not only understood, but we overstood the assignment. And we showed up on top.
Yes.
Right? We showed up on top.
Tarsili, first of all, I just want to say this is my queen was absolutely moved by this pic with Blue and his queen. She was like, oh my God, that's such a beautiful pic. Yes. These are so with Blue and his queen. These pics right here, and the most beautiful pictures is the pictures that a person takes when you don't know that they're taking it.
Yes.
So they didn't know, Blue and his queen didn't know that they were taking these pics, but These are absolutely amazing pictures taken to demonstrate black love, to demonstrate masculine and feminine energy combined. That's that ultimate God energy. And I just had to stay on this pick for a while. You know what I'm saying, family? Oh. But what I want to ask a question specifically to Tarsili, because the conversation of divine feminine energy and I forgot my camera's off. Wish more goes in on that. Tarsili, can you hear me? Yeah, she can't. Yeah, they
tap into the other phone.
Peace. Tarsili, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right,
great. You're good now. I don't know if you heard the beginning of the question.
I did.
Okay, great. So we talk about men tapping into the divine feminine energy in terms of being more intuitive, being more caring, being more receptive, but we also talk about men becoming more feminine based on the chemicals that are in the food, based on indoctrination from the media. There's books called The Feminization of the Black Male. So for a person who's not conscious, it could be a little confusing when they hear that feminization of the black male is a bad thing, but they hear black men tapping into their feminine energy is a good thing. So I need you to distinguish for me the effeminization of the black man through the chemicals of food, the media, and everything versus black men tapping into the divine feminine energy from Tarsili, Sister Myra, Queen Afua, and the other queens and goddesses that's in the community.
Man, this guy asks us the best question.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Powerful question.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to clarify, because if you notice, that's why I went into this piece about language.
Here's where it starts.
Because
Good
we
stuff.
could call masculine feminine. We could say the feminine is a bubble and the masculine is a square. We could use those words, but instead we chose to use, through speaking the English language, the terms masculine and feminine. It's a collective agreement to use those words. We could make our own language through our collective agreement of our word sound power. And so because we agree to use that, then it describes a particular principle, but not limiting us to everything that principle is. So like you see the symbol of the yin and yang, and you know, like the black has a little white dot and the white has a little black dot. That's how it is when I talk about masculine and feminine energy. The woman in manifesting, womb manifesting in feminine as the most high in feminine form is primarily yin or feminine, soft, creative, life force energy. Mm-hmm. The masculine is more linear, hard or firm, analytical, forceful, protective in using those hard or firm mannerisms or ways of going about it. Because women are protective too, and we can be fierce in our protection, but typically the way we go about it is different, a little different than how a man would go about it. So, you know, because a lot of times, for example, a woman will sense what's going on through her intuition before it even happens. She'll say, like, babe, don't go over there. Don't deal with those people. And the man will be like, it's nothing wrong with that. But then he gets over there and realizes that, you know, it's all kind of craziness. And then he'll leave. But had he listened to her to begin with, you know, he wouldn't have even gone. Or had he been a meditator and tuned into his own intuition, which is his feminine side, his feminine aspect, then he would have also known he did not need to go over there. You know, so it's really just tapping into the attributes that we label as feminine. And I agree with you. You know, it's the same way when we tap into the when we as women tap into the masculine. That just means we're being more analytical. We're being more decisive. We're being firm and upright, in opposed to flexible and flowy. You know, I mean, there are many times I'm sure our mothers were very firm with us. You know,
no, definitely, yeah.
In the masculine energy, but she wasn't going around trying to be a man. You know what I'm saying? That's something totally different. So to your point about the effeminization, that's something different. Effeminization means you're emasculating, you're taking away, compromising the masculine energy. And I'm not talking about that at all, because that is ultimately genocide. You know, when we look at it from a material perspective, not a spiritual. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We can consider other aspects of it. You know, if we talk about, well, why did a person incarnate in physical form as a woman, but she says she feels like a man? Well, okay, maybe she incarnated too soon. You know, before her full development in the realm of spirit was complete for her to actually take the form of a man, or maybe karmically she just had some things she had to deal with in regards to men, and she came back as a woman and had to actually, you know, perhaps she was a man who was very negative toward women, so she came back as a woman so she could experience what she had put out, you know.
Right. Or these weird scientists have also figured out how to, manipulate the developmental process from incubation space in the womb. So now they got these chemical blockers that are interrupting. We have seen that previously in our historical records. So this is a new thing that we're looking at and dealing with, where the body is now inundated and over inundated by chemicals, and they say the slightest chemical alteration could offset womb development. So it's the slightest, because it's a concoction. It's a chemical concoction. It almost has to be perfect for it to do what it intends to do. The slightest alteration of that is going to change the code. So an elaborate alteration of it is definitely going to change the code and scramble some things up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the environment is not being sanctified and protected, whereas our women only had to deal with a level of fear induction, you know what I'm saying, based on the programming that might have taken place when they were pregnant, right? So they release cortisol and different chemicals, and that's also signaling to the developmental nature of a child to be not that quote-unquote masculine or confrontational, right? Because all the time they're thinking about the continuity of the species. A mother's going to have a child that has the potentiality to exist longer and make it through. Right?
Yes.
So, and again, I've made this comment before, and people was like, oh, you still blaming the woman.
No, you know, that's not. I'm glad you said
Right.
that. I was certainly going to touch on that, and I'm glad you went there, because yes, those are the natural chemicals, and I was talking about some metaphysical reasons why. But if we want to just get to the material scientific reason, let's talk about Xeno. Xeno is that chemical that they put in the water, they put in the food, among other chemicals, but specifically Xeno is in the municipal water system. So if you drink tap water, you're getting it. If you take a bath or a shower, you're getting it. If the food that you're eating is irrigated with that water, municipal city water, there's some of it in there. So what is Xeno? Xeno is a chemical that is known to change the gender in reptiles. So people that I've shared that with have said, oh, but we're not reptiles. And I remind them that, oh, yes, we are in the first trimester. Right. We are in reptilian form. And so if a frog's gender can be switched from masculine to feminine or feminine to masculine by this chemical, then absolutely it can happen when in utero. And that, coupled with the cortisol levels, as Blue was saying, coupled with whatever else they're eating that may have these estrogens in it, the synthetic estrogens, then you have a recipe to have a confused group of people. Okay. And I talk about, like a lot of the folks in the 90s, they came in completely confused. And the people that are coming out now, and again, I'm not trying to attack anyone because I recognize that so much of this is beyond your control because it is a systematic form of genocide. But, the whole trans thing, those are GMO people. They're genetically modified people. They cannot exist without the scientists, without the chemicals.
Right.
They, right. So they're tied to these chemicals in order to even exist. Period.
They're tethered to big pharma.
Yeah.
Let's talk about in terms of getting downloads. Everybody's interested, and they keep hearing about how we're getting downloads. There's so many downloads. The solar flares, there's downloads. Information is coming in. Everybody's discovering that light is information. Wait a minute. When I look at the sunlight, that light is information hitting me. Talk to me about the sun and talk to me about downloads for those who may be new to this information and may not understand. How can the sun give you information that you could use? I thought it was just to, for the plants or to color your skin, but how is that information about a job or information about a wife or a husband, or information about where to move, or whatever information they're thinking about? How does the sun give you that level of information?
I'm sure Brother Red Pill and Brother Blue Pill have some really great information about that. So before they answer that question, I'd like to add. Please do. Yes. I just received somewhat of a download. I haven't even thought about this subject in quite some time, but just hearing that question inspires me. So I look at the sun for what it is. It's a star. It's not a sun. It's a star. Mm-hmm. And the same way that we interact with other stars, we interact with our star called the sun. So we receive all of this energy from the Capricorn constellation and the Sirius constellation, and we say, well, you're going to have these particular personality traits, or this is the time of year when you should do this and that. Those are form of downloads, influences from these living energies that come into us, and it's all light, right? So we have. All right, I'm going in, and I'm gonna go hard. Listen, people. Been telling y'all over 10 years. Everything is energy, frequency, and sound. Everything is energy, frequency, and sound. So basically, as above, so below. Meaning, okay, if everything is energy, frequency, and sound, where did these energies, frequencies, and sounds come from? They come from above. Okay, they come from above. When you look above, when you look in the sky, everything that's going on up there is an energy. The stars, the sun, the moon, these are all energy, right? You could clearly see the sun flares and all the moon flares, the star flares, stuff going on up there. Even as far as the clouds, the closest thing to us, the clouds, and the clouds are basically air puffs, but they turn into rain. Like, how does this air puff, this pocket of smoke, basically turn into something physical like water, right? Everything is an energy, and energy never dies. Okay? The color of my skin, my melanin, is because when you look up at night, you see darkness, dark matter. So anything dark down here on earth, the ground, the people, that's original. That is the original. Okay?
Anything after that is a variant, is a hybrid, is a hydro. That's why they call it hydroponics. They don't even call it marijuana anymore. Okay? Anything that is above is affecting anything that is below. Okay? So there is a me up there. There is a me up there. Okay? There is a me up there. This is just my avatar. Really, I'm up there. I'm up there. We're all up there. Everything, even your vehicle, even your piece of paper, piece of pen, it comes from up there. And down here is the physical effect of it. Okay? So when we get up, when we feel hungry, tired, horny, however we feel, when we feel intuitive, it's an effect of something going on up there. It's an effect or effect of the energies that's interacting up there. When all of a sudden you're attracted to somebody you never was attracted to before, that's because your stars are aligned, as they say, right? Everything is energy, people. There are some things that you can control, and there's some things you cannot control, okay, in this avatar, okay? And actually, everything you can control. So, what I mean by that is there's some things that no matter how you ever like be like, dang, no matter how hard I try, I can't get ahead. This can't happen. That can't happen. This keep happening to me. And then another time is like everything I touch turn to gold. I can't help it. It don't matter what I do. I was watching a video about the dude who said, that dude Anton, who said, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husbands. Remember that dude back in 2010, 12? Well, he had a just him saying that, somebody broke into his home and tried to rape his sister. Just him coming on a damn news reporter station and saying that turn this dude into a platinum selling artist. Now, if that don't prove to you that anything is possible, and I'm gonna probably play the video right now. If that don't prove to you that anything is possible, I don't know what is. And anything can happen at any moment. Okay? Hide your kids, hide your wife, guy. Okay? This is the video I was watching right here. This dude right here, trying to find the most recent video. Dang, he was on Vlad TV 7 years ago. I didn't even know. That's another bloodsucker, Vlad, a Jew, so-called Jew. Anyhow, can you see in the background? You see the gold record and the platinum record? All right. This dude went gold and platinum all for this song right here. Hide your kids, hide your wife. This song. He's climbing your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, cause they're raping everybody out here. You don't have to come and confess, we're looking for you, we gon' find you, we gon' find you, so you can run and tell that, run and tell that, run and tell that, oh boy, oh, oh, oh boy. We got your t-shirt to the left fingerprints and all you are so gone. You are really gone. For real. The man got away with behind evidence. I was attacked by some idiot in the project. So dumb, so dumb, so dumb, so anyhow, an unfortunate incident turned into a gold and platinum record for this dude. got him and his family out of the hood, out of the ghetto, out of the slums, into a fabulous life. And dude um even had an offspring. He claimed that, he was over with, he wasn't doing that gay life anymore, and he went and got a woman and got an offspring. And obviously he seems to be very much gay if you look him up right now. But like the queen was saying, um basically, well, she said it and didn't say, but basically, we have a destiny, we have a purpose when we come here to this realm from up there. And they have figured out some kind of way to alter that pH balance, that chemistry. See, everything is a balance, an energy balance, a pH balance. But before that, it must be an energy balance. Everything is a balance. That's why, if it gets too hot, like it's been too hot lately in many places, it start to rain. Okay, when it rains too much, it it starts to flood, and when it starts to flood, the earth could only take so much of that, and the rain stops, because not even so much of earth could only take so much of that. But when it starts to rain and all the clouds has dissipated, meaning all the clouds have stopped crying or have dissipated, then the rain stops, right? But it's gonna rain as long as it's cloudy. As long as it's cloudy, it's gonna rain, and it gets cloudy because it gets too hot. So basically, um, they had figured out a way to manipulate energy, which it's not even hard, but they they went even deeper as far as manipulating energy in the spiritual realm, or the energy realm. They figured out a way to manipulate energy in the physical realm, right? Which now it comes to balance, right? It comes to like balancing energies. So what they did was they figured out the chemicals that make us up, because we're started with water. Sperm is water. Sperm is water. Eggs is water. It's just a gel, right? It's a gel. And they figured out a way to inundate this gel, this water, with another chemical, another liquid, and manipulate um that energy before it even enters this physical world. Now, mind you, I could clearly see, once an energy come into this world, a being come into this world from being an energy, um, the purpose still is gonna happen. So whether you come into this world being homosexual or not, you still have to do your purpose, and the purpose still gonna happen. That's not gonna change. What changes is obviously the sexuality and things that consequent from changing your sexuality. So now if you change your sexuality, um you may be involved in things you otherwise wouldn't be involved in, maybe fights and stuff like that, right? But as you could see, and a lot of people know, homosexual people still have kids, still have offsprings. Look at that dude, Flame. His name is Flame. He still have kids. He still have offsprings. If it's written for you to have offsprings, you will have offsprings, no matter if you're homosexual or not. If it's written for you to not have offsprings, you will not have offsprings, whether you're homosexual or not. So even with them, and I think they realize, the powers that be realize, the inorganic ones realize that, hey, no matter what we do, it's not working, right? So this is why I tell y'all how powerful energy is. I should retitle this video how powerful energy is. You could try to manipulate the physical as much as you want, you have to first be able to manipulate energy. You have to first be able to manipulate energy. And you have to first be able to manipulate the energy up there. The energy up there. Because as y'all know, somebody could plan your death. For 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they plan your death. They know where you're gonna be, when you're gonna be, how you're gonna be there. Matter of fact, that's what they doing now. They tracking people, right? Matter of fact, I woke up this rising and I'm seeing something on my phone. I'm like, how the fuck my phone fucking knows that? That's something I was thinking about. That's not something I spoke or did or whatever. That's something I was thinking about. But it's an algorithm. It's tracking your algorithm. It's tracking your algorithm, right? Your phones, your devices, they're tracking you. Everything you say and do is predicting what you're gonna think about. It's predicting it, right? And it's tracking your algorithm. As you sleep, you're letting off an energy and it's picking it up. Your phones are doing that, your devices. But anyhow, no matter what they do, the stars, the energies, the master energies up there, they always working. They're always working and aligning themselves for their purpose. Okay? That's one of the reasons why I do my videos. I do videos, and people that do videos, we do them because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. It's like you're haunted. You know, it's like if I sometimes I'm so haunted in my mind that if I don't wake up and do a video, or if I don't stop exactly what I'm doing then and do a video, it's like the universe won't even let me continue my life. I have to stop and do this video. It's kind of like when you horny as fuck. If you ever been driving and you horny as fuck and you gotta pull off and jack off your yin yang or play with your vagina, go in the bathroom and get a nut real quick, that's because that energy is so strong. If you don't let off that energy right then and there, you can't even go on with the rest of your day. It just the energy be that strong. Okay. Um everything is energy. So to piggyback off and by the way, I'm gonna put this video. Actually, I should have started at 7 minutes in. I should have timed it better. But you watching this video, it's too late to say it now, but start this video at 7 minutes in, preferably. But anyhow, everything is an energy, and the energies have to be balanced. In the spiritual realm, it's really a frequency, a sound, and those frequencies and sounds have to be balanced. You know how you have your equalizer on your vehicle? You see how I got this mini equalizer? I got the fade, I got the balance, I got the bass, I got the treble. And to get a good sound, I have to balance those out the way I want it to be balanced out to sound good in my ears. It's the same thing the universe is doing up there, balancing out the frequencies and sounds, which is called an energy. All right. In the physical realm, it's a pH balance. It's balancing out the water, balancing out the chemicals, right? In the physical realm, it's balancing out the chemicals. Okay? In the spiritual realm, it's balancing out the frequencies and sounds. Okay? But oh god. Hang on 1 second. But that's basically all I wanted to say, family. So don't too much worry about things. Just live your purpose, do your purpose. You know, as long as you're living in your purpose, don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about a dang thing. Some people don't find their purpose till later on in life. Samuel L. Jackson wasn't really living in his purpose till he was in his late 40s. mid to late 40s, when he became a famous actor, you know, it so it took up until his mid to late 40s for the universe to prepare him. Okay, so sometimes the universe be preparing you early in life for things it's going to have you do late in life. And some energies come here to just go ahead and get it over with. Like Tupac, he died at like 25 years old. Tupac energy came here and got it over with. All right. And I think part of the reason was why Tupac knew they were going to take him out early because how powerful his work was to do here. So, the universe had him um doing his thing early because they was going to take him out early or whatever. But, a lot of you, like even myself, you're tormented by voices in your ears, songs, a lot of entertainers and singers can't help but sing and write certain songs and music. And then of course, by the time they get in the studio, you know, the record executives have them pervert the music and songs that they're trying to make. You know what I'm saying? And the music and songs come out sexual in nature and perverted in nature, when really the universe may have gave this person the song in a more intimate way, but shit come out perverted. Like the universe gave our ancestors the scriptures, but they perverted it to this thing now they call the Bible, right? But the universe always has a way of balancing itself out. Always has a way of balancing itself out. Kind of like how before Hitler, you know, man, Europe was on the roll to be the world dominant power. The Europeans and the Arabs, the Persians, they were going to be the world's dominant power. But Hitler came along and went against that and fucked it up for the Jews, the so-called Jews, you know, Jews and Europeans and Persians and Arabs, which are all in cahoots, right? They're all allies, and that gave way that gave way for people like me, the original beings of this planet, um, to get on a level playing field, right? So now we're pretty much getting on a level playing field, right? So know your energy, know what's going on. I've been telling y'all for years from my other channel that they took down to study natural law. Forget about religion, forget about man's law. Study natural law. When you study and learn natural law, the police could pull you over for having $50,000 in cocaine in your car, or $500,000, $5 million for having cocaine in your car. Trust me, they might get a call, murder in progress. Boom, they got to take off and go. Okay? Stuff like this happens all the time. Okay? A buddy of mine got shot in the head. I said, dang, bro, what happened? And he said, bro, I can't even tell you. I don't even know who did it. And he's still walking around breathing like normal. He just told me the other day. Let me see if I pull up the text message. I know other people that happened to. That happened to 50 Cent. Right? Let me show y'all. This brother here, he told me what happened to him the other day. He said, right here, living good, man. Got shot in the head almost a year ago, so I can't complain. Okay? So I'm telling you people, like anything is possible in life. Okay? But at the end of the day, you're always protected and you're always protected. As long as you stay in honor, as long as you stay in honor, and you're doing your purpose. You're doing your purpose. I've seen stuff like people being in places they shouldn't have been, but because the universe organized it like that for them to be there, they were able to be there. Okay, I remember when I met Janet Jackson. I'm backstage. I'm like, how the fuck? I'm back here with Janet Jackson, right? But the universe organized it to where I was an airbrush artist at like 14 years old. And this dude, this gay dude, he was fascinated and in love with Janet Jackson. And he had a jacket made with Janet Jackson on it. And long story short, uh I long story short, I ended up meeting Janet Jackson. Long story short, she's a bitch. Um she's a bitch. But anyhow, it just things happen in life, man, that you can't explain or that you would never expect to happen, you know. And it's all because it was in the cards. It was written in the cards. Okay? It was written in the cards. And you just have to follow your purpose, follow your heart, follow your purpose. You have people that like Samuel L. Jackson, a lot of people that were homeless. Steve Harvey was homeless living in his car. If it wasn't for Steve Harvey being homeless and living in his car, he would never be the Steve Harvey he is today. Okay? So sometimes you have to just separate yourself from people and live in your vehicle. Live away from people. That's how I feel. I have to live away from people. Come in the house and take a hot shower and relax. I'm like, no, I'm comfortable in my truck. When I'm in the city, I I'm more comfortable in my truck. If I'm not in a tiny house or, in some place where I know my energy can rest well, I'm gonna be right in my truck. I'm gonna be right in my truck. If my energy don't feel right in a certain place, I don't give a fuck if it's gonna make my physical body comfortable. If it don't make my spiritual body comfortable, I'm not gonna be there because I understand and overstand energy. I move when the energy tell me to move. So that's what I meant to say is like, somebody could plan your whole death for years. And if you're not in place when you're supposed to be in place, that's you being obedient. That's not your time. They could even shoot you. Like my buddy got shot in the head. Probably if the bullet was 1 inch over, he'd have been out of there. But because maybe he moved or the wind blew a certain way or a truck drove by and blew the wind a certain way, you know what I'm saying? It altered the direction of that bullet. And even if that bullet would have hit him, if it ain't his time to go, if the universe got it written that it ain't his time to go, it just ain't gonna be your time to go. You understand? But a lot of it also have to do with you living in honor. You living in honor. A lot of people getting taken out of here because they refuse to live in honor and refuse to live according to the universe. They stuck on religion. They stuck on man's law. Whatever man tell them to do, man tell them to do this thing. They've been forcing on people since 2020, 2021. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, so a lot of people getting taken out because they're not doing according to natural law. They're not doing according to what their spirit and soul telling them to do. Okay? Anyhow, that's all I got for y'all, man. Everything is energy, frequency, and sound. People be like, I hear voices in my head. That's the sound, that's the energy, that's the frequency. Now, you must be balanced to make sure you're hearing the proper voices because you could be hearing voices from the negative side also. Because everything is a yin and yang. You know that symbol, yin and yang? That yin and yang symbol? Okay, the opposite fishes. Okay, so make sure you're balanced so you're receiving the right downloads from the universe. Okay, but everything is energy, frequency, and sound, man. Everything. Everything. All right, peace. Some of y'all gonna get it, and some of y'all won't.